it would be good if you conduct your session and then allow a little time at the end for people to ask questions. So, Venerable Sir, over to you.
Thank you very much. So, what I would like to say and do within this period is, first I will deliver a sermon as a guided meditation on introduction of mindfulness and its benefits, and then conduct a little bit of mindful sitting session, and then finish the sermon, and then open a dialogue for question and answers. I think we have about 1 hour session. So therefore, now I am going to start the formal talk. Please be seated and be aware that I am sitting and listening, and I would like to start with the quotation of the Buddha from the Maha Satipatthana Sutta. I will start as a traditional way. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhasse. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhasse. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhasse. Ekayano ayang bhikkhave maggo sattanang visuddhiya soka pariddavanang samatikkamaya dukkha domanassatthagamaya nyayassa adhigamaya nibbanassa saccikiriyaya yadidang chattaro satipatthānāti. Dear Venerable Dhamma friends, I am sure each one of you has listened or studied and have some kind of acquaintance with this particular phrase, because it's a kind of a revolutionary introduction to the subject of mindfulness. Why it is revolutionary, why it is against the grain is, before explaining the term meaning of the mindfulness, Buddha himself gives 7 benefits. That is to provoke your faith and to have positive thinking, and then only the Buddha is going to give the meaning of mindfulness and how to do, and what are the benefits and all the kind of thing. Of course, the benefits are being summarized here. It is being introduced in such a way, this is the one and the only way. Ekayano ayang bhikkhave maggo. I know some Western thinkers and others try to explain what does it mean by ekayano maggo. Many people gave, but traditionally in Theravada background in Sri Lanka, it says one and the only way. So first time when I heard about this kind of a thing, as a young, robust man, or angry young man, AYM, I was thinking how if that is the one and the only way, what are the Buddhists are doing? No one knows about that. So lucky enough, when I am questioning, there were some foreigners, they were studied Buddhism in English medium, and they also considered myself as a bumpkin, coming from the village, and claimed to be a Buddhist, and passed the subject of Buddhism with the credit, but still we do not know what is the one and the only way. So it happened me to come to the ground, and at the very ground level, and study. So if you are believing the way the Buddha presented, that's the one and the only way, and end of the sentence it says that is 4 foundation of mindfulness. And in between, the first benefit itself, sattanang visuddhya, purification of the being. So Pandita Sayadaw used to say, purification of being can happen physical and mental. Physical means that you are having a wash and getting a soap and all the kind of a cleaning, and that is not really meaning here. Here the meaning is the mind and the body and the mind. This is the purification of the mind. So we can say this is the evolution. We are stuck. We are stuck bound. We are rotating in the same place in a rut. So we do not know how to get the outwardly jump from this orbit. So the path is mindfulness. So they are to have the purification of being. Present day, in the present day technological jargon, they says this is the neuroplasticity. Your brain can be changed at any age, since or as far as you are a human being. But we are so bogged down. We are so in a rut. We are running the same rut without thinking radically. So that is how the Buddha introduced 2600 years ago. And nowadays, I would say after the Buddha Jayanti, people started, West and the East, and the Buddhist and non-Buddhist, they found many things in the technology and scientific way and mass production and all the kind of thing. But still the tension is increasing. Still the frustration is increasing. Still the suicidal trend is very high. Why? They have no way to find the answer even to the UNDP, even to the WHO, even to the Monetary Fund, even to Food and Agriculture Organization. They don't have. But while searching, they never met up with the Buddha as such. But they were happy and lucky to meet up with this mindfulness. So when the mindfulness went to the West, they just found, according to my research and studies, they found the therapeutic aspect and the curative aspect of mindfulness. So whenever that is given, ultimately it became a business Buddhism. They were selling mindfulness to get rid of this tension and frustration. That is how MBSR came into being. Mindfulness-based stress reduction. And I was thinking, I was searching, and I was worrying 40 years, is this the real meaning of purification of the being or the full definition of mindfulness? I am happy to mention the Pali term, that is sati, but I doubt whether the term is been properly translated into the mindfulness, but the term is so popular today. So therefore, we are quoting the English term. If I am to find the equivalent or synonym, that's awareness. Mindfulness is awareness. Mindfulness, sati is awareness or mindfulness. So to go further into, before going to the sitting session, I would like to introduce another synonym you find in the canon. That is appamada. Appamada means that diligence, the vigilance. So both of them is catalytic effect for purification of being. Of course, it is leading to sattanang visuddhya, thoka pariddavanam samattikkamaya, grief and lamentation will be overcome, and the physical and mental pain will be reduced, gone, and then you will learn the methodology. And the last is the Nibbana. So, Western point of view, they are not going up to the third onward. They are going to the first, second, third. That itself enough. But I am a Buddhist boy, and when I am learning, that itself was very dynamic, very pragmatic, very under your very nose. So therefore, I thank them. But they never go beyond the benefits. But we being Sri Lankan, we being servants of Buddha, we are free to go further. When we are going further, it says mindfulness is very difficult to cage. It is very difficult to put into a simple definition. Or I would say, immediately you put into the definition, you will get trapped. So therefore, I am happy to introduce you, all the listeners, please read Power of Mindfulness by Venerable Jnanaponika, published in Buddhist Publication Society. It has been translated into Sinhala 3 times, 3 authors. I myself also translated, but I am very happy you can read English one, and that is very lucid. Why? Why? Because he introduced bare attention. One step before mindfulness. I translated that into Sinhala, Sati Matre, Satyata Pravesha. So that is when it comes into the, not even up to the mindfulness, I give the definition of the mindfulness and say, don't go for the full-fledged 100% mindfulness. If you have just bare attention, that's enough. So now, with this amount of understanding, I would like to lead each of you to experience it. How can we experience the bare attention? Of course, the experience-wise, we can do 4 activities. That is what we supposed to do in our Satipasala concept, in the introducing mindfulness into the curriculum. First is mindful sitting. You sit and do nothing and just observe yourself with your closed eyes, what is happening inside. You just sit symmetrically, you just sit comfortably, keep your body erect, upper part, and just observe, here, now, I am. What is happening? So this is what now I am going to do with you as a group meditation or as a guided meditation. So therefore, please take a comfortable seat, whatever it may be, straight back chair or a cushion or in the ground or whatever it may be, just make yourself comfortable. And to make sure whether body is cooperative or not, what I would like to say is, gently close your eyes and see whether your left side of the body and the right side of the body is balanced, symmetrical. And see, with closed eyes, of course, see whether your limbs are relaxed. So this is the way you get a nice access to the body. You are sitting comfortably, symmetrically and relaxed way. Now we have to use a technique or rather tactic to bring the mind in. So what I would like to suggest is kind of a mindful game. I will gong a bell. The gong will give a high-pitched sound and will reduce and tapering off into the silence. So what you have to do is listen to the sound from the high pitch to trace it up to the last drop. And when that happens, you can see, you become self-aware, you become a listener. It's a passive action. And at the end, listen carefully, at the end, you are listening but hearing nothing. Till the bell is running, you are listening and hearing the bell. When it is reduced, we'll spend few split seconds and see, we are attentively listening, but there's nothing to hear. So you will understand the difference between listening and hearing, and we'll see what is going to happen. And till I give another gong, we will maintain this mindful sitting. Okay, you may open eyes gently, and we have together being about we have been together for about 5 minutes, maybe less than 5 minutes, but it would have appear like 10 minutes, 15 minutes like, because we are doing nothing and observing. So at the discussion, question and answer, I would like to share your experience, but before going to that, I would like to share with you, related to the topic, the meaning of mindfulness and its benefits. So mindfulness is the bare attention. When you are sitting, you know you are sitting. So when my teacher, Venerable Jnanarama, is going to teach us, he says, when you are sitting, you get kind of an experience, that's under the nose experience, but deductively or inferentially, you know you are not walking. You know you are not standing. You know you are not lying down. So that's also coming and helping, because we have our experience about the 4 cardinal postures. Now we reduce our activity into the one posture and be aware that I am sitting. And there may be some kind of experience where you touch your sitting cushion, or your chest is expanding as the breath in breath, and relaxing in the out breath, or you may be see end of the nostril, the air gushing out and sucking in. So likewise, these things are a real thing we lost in our life. So servants of Buddha, 100 years we are spent. But how many breaths or how many expansion and contraction we experienced or we really live? We are in a dream. We are planning. We are worrying. And we are worrying about the other people and other places. At the deathbed, what is the account balance? Whatever you accumulated multiplied by 0. You have lived a life with a long equation, long formula, calculating, at the death, multiplied by 0. But these few minutes explain, I am with myself. Here, now, I am. So, as you introduce me, you told that I am the multi-religious, multi-language and multi-creed. Because that present moment, what we all experience, it do not have any discrimination whether you are a female or male, whether you are a monk or a lay person, whether you are a Tamil or Sinhalese. No. So therefore I would like to say, this thought moment is what I call humanity. That's the only thing we are lacking. That is all. Common sense is the most uncommon thing, as someone has put into the word. So therefore we try to live. We try to take this present moment into our stream of consciousness. For that we call the look must be introvert. That's why it's called insight. Otherwise, if we are not taking a conscious effort, what will happen is it's always extrovert. It's a centripetus, not the centrifugal. So this change is the difference between the science and the Buddhism. Science is always outwardly. Learning about the galaxies, learning about the geography, learning about the thermal physics, every kind of thing. But you lost. You are eccentric. But while learning in the classroom, for example, that is what we are going to recommend for the curriculum. Just let the child to be aware that I am sitting. Or the teacher to be aware that I am sitting, or I am walking, I am doing this and that. And that very understanding, there is no difference between the teacher and the student. There is no difference between the curriculum writer and the just born child. So that is what a kind of humanity, what a kind of potential. So that is the meaning of mindfulness. This is I am talking about the bare attention. I would say sati matraya. With that, out of this all individual you listening, suppose thought about doing it little further or put into trial, then the Buddha says, Chattaro Satipatthana. Whatever the posture you are, 14 methods in the Kayanupassana episode, 14 systems, 14 methods, sitting, walking up and down, and feeling the heat, cold, stiffness, tension, movements like elementaries, and changing from one posture to the other, and see a corpse, and see what is the difference you and the corpse. So likewise, there are a lot of methods. So all of them are not suitable for non-Buddhists. So therefore we selected mindful sitting, mindful walking, and mindful day-to-day activities and mindful games. So if any one of you wish to have kind of a theoretical understanding, please visit our Satipasala website, www.satipasala.org. So much of videos, talks, and question and answers, frequently asked questions and remarks. So nowadays it is accumulating in a large scale. You also can join and contribute. So with that kind of mindfulness, imagine, I can see you all fellows are now coming to the servants of Buddha. You may come out and say, I have my headache, I have my back pain, I have my knee pain, I can't sit, 1,001 excuses. Never mind. Whatever it may be, never too late. Because I know one or two such very old ladies and gentlemen, and they are teaching 4 generations. They are teaching 4 generations with their own experience. So therefore, even the grandma, grandfather, no problem. You are the person handling the grandchild. Because your children, they don't have time to spend with their children. So whenever you keep the grandchild on your lap, and you can try this. And that is how we do. And if you wish to do little further, you can start with mindful sitting, and you can allocate 5 minutes, so to say. 5 minutes out of your timetable, just sit for the sake of sitting. No mantras, nothing. Just be aware, here, now, I am. Here, now, I am. So this is the only moment you are living. Otherwise you are in a dream. The Buddha says, in the 5 precepts, the last one is Suramereya Majja Pamada Thana. Majja means that you are drunkard. Pamada means you are not up to the present moment. So we think alcohol is making Suramereya Majja Pamada Thana. You think substance using is using for Majja Pamada. No. Your prestige, your learnedness, your all the thing you earn, ultimately you become bogged down in there and very difficult to get down. That means, get out. That means you don't know how to make a beginner's mind. But whenever you start mindful practice or mindful sitting or mindful walking, you see you have to be a beginner. That's the most difficult thing. And school system is doing opposite. Giving you a recognition and this and that and all the kind of thing, competition, and out of that, ultimately the child loses its ability to be a beginner. So therefore, very famous book is there, Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind, by D.T. Suzuki, and he took the essence of Theravada, where beginner is the best person, and that is a good starting point, and then he introduced that into the Mahayana, And that became very famous. Each and every person from the Western countries, they read this book. Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind. So whenever we become mindful, we can understand we become beginners. Only the beginner's mind can welcome mindfulness. To make that point very interesting, very pondering, the Blackburn, one lady from Australia, she found each and every thought moment you are mindful, be on the ball, here and now. She found there's a kind of a relaxing hormone is produced in cell level, telomerase or telomere, and that give a direct message to the RNA and DNA in the nucleus, and so much so, whenever the nucleus, the RNA, DNA multiplies, duplicate, there is a habit of developing hardening of the end cap. But when the telomerase is secreted while you are doing nothing and be aware diligently and vigilantly, here now I am, that hardening of the cap is reduced. She recognized that is rejuvenation. You become young. So whenever you try to be mindful, you remember your child age. You feel like a child. Your rejuvenation can happen. So last time the Manori and Saroj, Jayasinghe and we all got together in the Kaduwela Satipasala. Then I told, please enlighten us for the telomeres and telomerase and how people become rejuvenated. And then Saroj Jayasinghe, he told, Bante, you are very good point, but the thing is now we are too old. So therefore our already gone past stage you can't redo, but you can reduce the senility and you can be young and you can keep this health for longer time. But Manori told, Bante, you and I know, Saroj still do not know, each and every moment you are meditating, your past life, past years also been compensated. Your bright face, your everything become vibrant. So this is the most important thing for COVID, resistance, your confidence. Whether you get a vaccine or not, whether you have anything, still you can die. You will be killed because you don't have confidence. But the mindfulness, the Sattanang Visuddhya, you know, I have at least lived 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes a day. So when I started, I am sorry, I had no chance even 5 minutes to sit and do because I was a university student at that time. And I had very rare chances to do while walking also, but I tried my best. So what Venerable Dhammika told me was, when you go to the toilet, while you are brushing your teeth, can you be mindful? Because you are the only person in the toilet or washroom, and while you are brushing, be aware how much you are doing it autopiloting way. And instead see the brushing action, smell the toothpaste, the taste the toothpaste, and feel the gum as the teeth and the bristles and the sound. So much of things. And whenever you are washing after that, see the refreshness. So these things are simple things to be mindful in the day-to-day activities. So this is the way when you are furtherance, when you go advance towards bare attention, to the Satimatra, these are the way. And one secret thing is, it was very helpful for me. No one knows whether you are mindful or not. So therefore nothing to wear white clothes, have the bapana, nothing. Because if that was the case, I wouldn't have been a monk or I wouldn't have been a mindful practitioner because I am a robust young man. I was practicing. So whenever Dhammajiva told, don't let others know that you are practicing. For other thing, you see when you go to a temple, what kind of a noise, what kind of paraphernalia you have to bring, and what kind of rituals you have. No harm, no harm. Do it everything. Do mindfully. Do it mindfully. And then you can understand mindfulness need no any cosmetics. It's a bare attention. And bare attention, when it comes to the mindfulness, for foundation mindfulness, first and foremost you understand is, who am I in your physical configuration? Otherwise we see only the mirror image. Through the reflection. Can you see your eyes by your bare eyes? Never. So everyone is others' reflection. Everything is a mirror image. So we believe that, but we have never seen our eyes to the naked eye. So what a camouflage. What a camouflage. People are sending us for a ride with their views, and we are also happy with that. But instead, when you are close to your eyes and we understand, you can see this is what happens. And there is no necessity for evidence, because it is under your very nose. And when that, whenever you have certain amount of that experience, what happens is, then you go to the feelings. That you go to the hedonic part. How much we are chasing behind the pleasure. Pursuit of pleasure. Not only we, even the animals. And whenever someone is at the deathbed, everyone is suffering. Whatever the way of your life you spend, the death is suffering. So your long formula is multiplied by 0. But when you are sitting and practicing, you see 15 minutes time, so much of pain. So much of backbone pain. So much of knees. And you can understand it. It is not climbing a mountain. It is not you are using a sledgehammer. Just sitting. The body is full of pain. That's why we are using alcohol. That's why we are using novels. That's why we are going in front of the television, listening to this and that, because we hate our pain. We hate the basic sign of our life. So Sigmund Freud used to say, if you can't put up with your day-to-day unsatisfactoriness, you will end up with hysteric level of trauma. So you are learning how to be with our day-to-day unsatisfactoriness. That is what Buddha says, the truth of suffering. So how much we are cheating with the painkillers and counseling, this and that. Who the hell can give you that kind of lasting answer? No, instead you can accept. You can accept. Now we are sitting for 15 minutes, 45 minutes. We feel uncomfortable. Who's the mistake? No. If there is a creator God, of course we can file a case against him. Buddha never gave that kind of thing. So feeling is a much deeper, it's an immaterial part, and that is the point you are going to feel the other person, emotional literacy, emotional intelligence, and whenever you feel your under the nose painful feeling, pleasurable feeling, and in between, and the mental pleasure, mental pain, you see what another world. It is not related to the physical sitting, walking, standing and lying down. But each and every time there is another feeling world. And when we are giving a gift to our loved one, what we are giving? We give material. And it is like the soap bubble. It will go. But if you can share with others, be with your pain. Try to put up with that. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Then only you start to expand your arena, diversification of your mindfulness, and then you can see each and every feeling is camouflaged or with the backdrop of liking and disliking. Our mind is always projecting each and every feeling, each and every visual thing, sound, smell, taste, touch, and the thing colored with liking and disliking. Our foolishness says they are intrinsically they are in visual things and sounds and the smell and the taste and the touch and the mental images. But how many time, how much practice will take you to understand you are the person projecting the liking and disliking into these outside things, physical things, fire elements, earth element, each and everything we think come with liking and disliking. No, they don't have that an agenda. You are the person pumping, and ultimately you are the person suffering, you are the person making complaints. So soon you go beyond the feelings, you can understand the mind, always coloring, always have liking and disliking. That is very, very deep. Whatever you projected, whatever you imposed upon, will reflect back. So we think they each and every aspect, each and every phenomena, each and every stimuli is imposing us something. No, we are the people imposing us, and when we are talking with the meditators, they will agree. When your mind is beautiful, whole world is beautiful. If your mind is ugly, world is ugly. If the mind is depressed, world is depressed. If the mind is blooming, world is blooming. So to at least understand that, at least to say, I am the person making my world, mano pubbangama dhamma, mano settha manomaya, manasache pasannena bhasativa karotiva. Everything is, mind is the forerunner. And it's just mind-made, manomaya. Mind is the important thing. And don't worry about that. Have a pleasant mind. Manasache pasannena. Today you listen to the media. Utter nonsense. Always find something wrong, and they collect all the wrong thing in the world and bring it as a news reel, and you are not going to have even your meal because you wanted to have the news reel. Without news reel you can't sleep. So the IT technology was very advanced, bring all the dirty things into the mind, but even dirty things bring no problem if you have your integrity. If you know now I am listening something outside. Instead listen to yourself, or while listening news, see how much I am getting agitated, how much I am getting involved, and how much I am getting carried away by these ideas, and then you can understand the mind. So this is called Kayanupassana, Vedananupassana, Chittanupassana, and then once that is you are armed with, endowed with, then the Buddha says each time you hear, each time you listen, see, each time you smell, taste, touch, you are starting another, stream of consciousness. You have no agenda. So you have no control. I will see, but I will not listen. No. While you are sitting in the silence, our mind will carried away only with the visual objects or sound or smell or taste or physical discomfort. There's no agenda. We appear like a very big shots in front of the audience, and then the teacher appear like a big shot in class of the teacher, students, and the doctor appear in front of the patients, and the king appear in front of the subjects. Who is having any agenda? They are not concerned about that. In our education, there is no such value system. The Buddha is the only one. He says, you have no control. And understanding of that no control is good or bad, It's a challenging question. Some people go schizophrenia. Some people go bipolar. Some people burst their this thing because they think they are the control of the world. I am the boss in the house. No boss. When you see seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, how swiftly they are changing, just keep bookkeeping. Just take 5 minutes. Go to a supermarket and take 5 minutes and see how seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching take you for a ride. And that is worst when you are in a society at large. Even if you are sitting, you can understand that. So this is the way the bare attention is shifting or take into the shape of mindfulness or sati. Satara Satipatthana. So that is what Buddha is introducing in 37 factors of enlightenment. The Satya is introduced by 4 foundations of mindfulness. These are the mindfulness, this state of the mindfulness is the what going to give the purification of the being. Because you are reshuffling your liking and disliking, you are reshuffling your personality traits, you are getting a chance to reshuffle your directed dispositions and underlying tendencies, but that will be fastened, this will be accelerated, that will be catalyzed if you are doing as a team. That is what I am happy to have a question and answer session so that we can understand, are we sharing each other or are we going to take it as a private and confidential? No. So once that come up to the for foundation of mindfulness, then it comes to the sati indriya as a faculty. Pancha indriya, sati indriya. They are, you have a like an army commander, whenever your faith is lost, whenever your energy is lost, whenever your concentration is lost, whenever your knowledge is lost, mindfulness can restore, keep you in a track. That is the way mindfulness become a leading factor. Of course, all the other 5 also can run. But if you wish to know how miraculous the mindfulness is, how credible the mindfulness is, please read Power of Mindfulness. Whenever Jnanaponika says, whatever the difficult situation, mindfulness will be credible. Faith is incredible. Energy is incredible. Concentration and the wisdom. Saddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya. Sati will never betray you. I have 40 years of experience. No failure, always advancing. And once that is, that come into your way of life, your day-to-day activities, still it can go into the Sati Bala, Power of Mindfulness. The name of the book is Power of Mindfulness, Venerable Jnanaponikas. But it is just giving an introduction. The power of mindfulness is defined by Venerable Sariputta, Pamade na kampatiti sati balang. Whatever the mistake you happen, you are not regretting. That is the power of mindfulness. You are bound to make mistakes, but still you can be unworried. It is not callous. It is not that you are not concerned about that. But worrying is a cancer. It's a habituated thing infested by society. Child is not so. They are not worrying. We civilized beings, the conditioning is given by this, all the conditions, all the rules and regulation, but I am not against the rules and regulation. But I am telling, whenever the mistake happen, we think it is our prime duty to worry. Not only that, we get together and punish some people. We have gone to such a bad, extreme level. And we say, he killed other person, therefore you must be killed. Who the hell on earth can make such a decision? No. There is no such a thing, because I am also succumb to that kind of situation. Even the judge is succumb to that situation. The lawyer is that, and the lawmakers also that. Who the hell can say that you have done this, therefore we must punish you? So this is the way it is being misled. But if you have a power of mindfulness, you will become so humble. You will become so innocent. You will understand, yes, at this moment he is wrong, but next time, maybe myself. I went to magazine prison, and at that time the prison commissioner came. And he thanked me and he told, brothers, now you have committed crimes and therefore you are sentenced to, death sentence. 114 people. And now I am the commissioner. You are the inmate. But in the next life, you will be the commissioner, I will be the inmates. So therefore I have no rights. It is decision by the court, but now we are the same. Let Dhammajiva talk about how much we are the same. So we will never find fault with others. It's a very bad habit. We think we are mothers and fathers, therefore we must find fault with. We are teachers, we are rulers. No such thing. Because you have not exceeded that situation. That is what you learn at the power of mindfulness, whereby you understand mistakes can happen. Main thing is not to worry. But it is not a just mental calculation. That is an endowment. By practice, you will worry and you will understand the amount of worries you have. So much you have a fool. So much you have ignorance. So much you have misunderstanding. So much you have darkness in your mind. And you may meet another person, your mindful friend, he will share with you and says, okay, never mind, never too late, we can reinstall mindfulness, and main thing is not to worry. So far, so much so in the mundane life. And then only mindfulness develop up to the Bojjhanga level, Sati Sambojjhanga, that is the point, the transcendental part. This kind of such a faculty not worth using for the mundane life. It become a bodhyanga, the factor of enlightenment, and then he understand so much so we develop mindfulness. It is evolving so much of time. Bare attention, four foundation mindfulness, faculty of mindfulness, power of mindfulness, now factor of enlightenment. So that we are not going to teach in Satipasala, because then we are prescribing Nibbana for each and everyone. No. We says, this is the bare attention, you practice and you take a decision accordingly. We are not going to give a definition as such, because definition is evolving. But the servants of Buddha, you have promised now. You are working in it. So therefore you have to, before the death, you have to consider, are we practicing Buddhism for the sake of fun? Or sake of merit, accumulation of merits? Because that you think Buddhism has gone, dead and gone? Or are you happy to put your life in that and try, can I have a hope? This whole effort we have developed, we are good people, isn't it? We have done kind of spend a life in the world, and we have not ruined our life. We are fairly good people. And are we going to lose this for just fame, gain and all the kind of thing? And then only the Sati Sambojjhanga come into being. So people are accusing us, telling we are diluting the mindfulness by Satipathala. They don't understand. There is no such the hard and fast definition for Sati. Hard and fast definition of mindfulness, it is evolving. We are introducing the bare attention, and while you are progressing, you may evolve. As you evolve, you have new openings. You have new diversifications. I mean, it is not a crime, it is an opportunity. It's a endowment. So Bojjhanga is the critical point, whereby you have the mundane part and the supramundane. Then only it can go to the Samma Sati. It's called the broad mindfulness, the correct mindfulness. Many people talking about that, they don't know even the bare attention. They don't know even the bare attention. Bare attention we can share. So therefore, with this with this amount of theory understanding, of course, you people, you listeners are much, much better than my understanding. You know. But my sincere effort is to put into practice and then let it happen, let it lead to the purification of being. And then onward, other benefits also will come into being, and then you will see how young you are, how rejuvenated you are. No senility. Now I'm almost 70 years old. So recently we had a session with the police, Mount Lavinia and Nugegoda. So Deshabandhu also came, the minister also came. Then I told, I am not telling anything, I am 70 years old. Come and jump into the river, Maha, Kalani, and you see how nice, how happy I am living. And they told the police officers, they have to work 20 or 30 years. They told Bhante, that itself is enough. You are a jolly good man. So I am happy that day I came to the Nissarana, and Manori took so much of effort. I am compromising with Manomi. If Manori is not giving me return, I know what to do. I recently also nominated her to think about the child abuse and all the kind of thing. I am freely nominating her. She is better, she is a mother, but I am the person going to get the credit. I know it. I am capitalizing a situation because mindfulness. So I am going to sum up my talk. I hope I touch the definition of mindfulness and the benefits of mindfulness according to the time and my ability. So if you have time, I would like to share, I would like to spare for question and answers. I don't know how is your time scheduled. Anuja?
Thank you very much, Venerable Sir. That was an extremely useful explanation of mindfulness. And also, I'm so happy that you have given us old people some encouragement that, even on our deathbed, that we can practice mindfulness. So, and also you touched on the point that servants of the Buddha, our motto is Araha Hesami, which means we strive for enlightenment. So that has been our motto. So Venerable Sir, your explanation was extremely useful, and it is up to us to take your advice and practice sincerely. And as you so beautifully explained, this is something that is so simple, and yet it eludes many people because we are caught up in this rat race, and also we are conditioned by science, which you clearly said only focuses on the outside world, whereas with mindfulness we are focusing on the inner world, and that is where we have to find the path to enlightenment. So I'd like to, and also Venerable Sir, thank you for mentioning Mano, because she has been the person who, helped us to organize this session with you. And so we are very grateful to Mano for having done that. And also Venerable Chandra Ratana of Meetirigala, who also helped us to coordinate with you, Venerable Sir. So I'd like to open the floor for questions. So if you want to ask a question, please unmute your button and raise your hand, then we can see that you are asking a question. Everybody seems to be silent.
Venerable Bhante, I'll just ask I don't know whether that is a silly question, but before that, please, everyone, I apologize. I was so caught up in this meditation. I'm now sitting on the floor in my cushion. I completely forgot to record the session, and that was an amazing explanation. I really wish I remembered. I'm very sorry. I apologize once again. The loss of mindfulness. Bhante, when we are looking inward, are we, what happens to, are we creating karma or is it still?
That it is the question is many-folded. There are four kinds. One thing is present moment accumulating of karma. The second thing is already done karma come and fruiting in this moment. And they are mostly bad karma. But there are some good things also. So whenever you make the mind open and mind space, there are a lot of opportunities to do wholesome things. You don't know. Simply you don't know because you are obsessed with. But whenever the mindfulness come and establish, you feel the arena, you feel the new shift of the dimension, and you see what the human being is such a omnipotent, omnipresent power. It's a total possibility, potential. But we are bogged down into our female life and the male life and this job and that job, and it will be gone. And that is also new opportunity to do better karma. We call adhikusala. We can do something better. Now we are bogged down. Now we are in a routine and we are in a rat race, and just like mind. But when the mindfulness happen, and then the most important thing, the last point is, the once you develop that kind of a trend, the sustainability. Not to have 5 minutes today and have another 100 years and have another Dhammajiva session. So these four kinds. One thing assured, as far as your mindfulness, this thought moment is clean. No one can give that assurance. Your parents can't give, your priest can't give, and your children can't give. They can give you gifts. But you are, though Upanita Sayadaw used to say, imagine you are sitting 5 minutes. And each thought moment, each second, you are making sure, sitting, I am here and now. And another second time, you know. Therefore, for 60 seconds, 60 thought moments free and clean. 5 into 6, 300. So your count is developing. So far, what did you do? You fool, look into the other benefits and next life, past life. I mean, they are good, no problem. But you lost the main, you lost the bus, missed the bus. And that all your compassion and everything is egotistic. Don't think I am too much criticizing you people, but I am telling that these things are the camouflage. We say we did this and that to the others, but where are you? Who are you? We don't know. So therefore, first and foremost is anuppannanam papakanam akusalanam dhammanam na uppadaya chandan janeti vayamati viryang arabati chittam paggannati padhati. The Buddha says, take mindfulness, be diligent not to arouse unarisen defilements. Who can help you? No one. And if you are also divulging this precious moment for your this and that, and corona and that, you missed the bus. And don't find fault with others. Because Buddha arose 2,600 years ago, and the Dhamma is vibrant. If you are finding fault with the government and the parents and all, you are a fool. But the mindfulness is cut across. And he says, okay, per day, one thought moment. One thought moment. And the day you realize it, you see you have the potential, you have the possibility. And once you develop, it becomes contagious. This just like corona. Just see what happened to Manori. Manori is now spreading corona, spreading mindfulness. Wherever she goes, I never look at her. I just give her just a trick, and she start talking. Mindfulness. It's a contagious disease, very dangerous. You will end up with enlightenment.
Thank you so much, Bhante. It was, see things as it is and without any reaction. I think that is the ultimate, and it is possible. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you are never too late.
Are there any other questions? Mano, do you have anything to say? Because a lot has been said about you.
No, I am
Mano?
telling Mano, I accepted this invitation with a promise. I am going to reveal it. Each month you all must get together. Each one should have this session. And you have to understand, I got the Zoom space just after Satipasala. We are daily doing maybe 60-70 Satipasala sessions. So first time Manori wanted to have her own share. That is the share for servant for Buddha. I think I will give. But next time you have to climb into the common bus. Get a ride. Or at least 10 monks. They are doing Zoom sessions. So you can join. I just finished 1 to 3 master training program. And while I am coming, another program is happening from 3 to 4:30. And I got the chance in the Zoom from 4:30 to 5:30. So yesterday being Friday, the Muslims, Arabic countries, they are asking this and that. So you will just get into the CTB bus instead of your private vehicle, and you will get a ride. So Manori has to do that kapukama and the bridging so that you will understand. You will become our family member. You will become our the friends and relationship. And Manori has to think about and come out with a practical suggestion. Otherwise, I will not come back.
Sadhu, sir. I agree, sir, because I realize how many of our people I know in England who are Sri Lankans who are following the Satipasala as adults and benefiting so much. So that way I have to blame ourselves. We mustn't look back at Pamadena and Kampati, but I haven't personally made use of the Satipasala sessions as much as I know I do, but not as much as some of these people abroad.
So you must have a session in your Mittarama, and I will send you clips, and I have prepared 40 video clips, and they are in a very systematic session, and explaining the meaning of mindfulness, explaining how to sit and be mindful, explaining how to do walking and mindful, how to be mindful in day-to-day activities and mindful games. Though this thing repetitively happening, each time taking the mindfulness into the higher grade, and that is what we are going to give as a package to the mindful teachers. So now it is ready. So this is the latest. And if you wish to have, we have 7 songs. Very classic. And when they happen, people not in a meditative mood. They are in the mindful mood, jolly good mood. And people are expressing by the songs. So if you go to the YouTube and click Satipasala, you will get all the kind of thing. How the children respond, how the parents respond, how the teachers and how the singers and all the kind of thing. So therefore get together yourself and have a session, and if you need a theme, I can give a theme. Otherwise you can see so much of material and get together and have a session and have a sitting.
Thank you very much, Venerable Sir, for that advice you gave us. Certainly we can organize a session like that, because through the Zoom we should be able to utilize the material that you have referred to, and we should be able to organize a session like that or sessions like that. But of course, Samudra, I think you can help us with the technical side of it, because we can use our time to utilize that material so that then people can get into the mindfulness practice. So
But
thank you very
someone
much.
must be appointed. Someone must be
Yes.
appointed to give the relationship. I think Manori is too old now. And the Samudra, can you coordinate?
I'll see what I can do, Bante, because I am also a little involved in. I'll see. I will give priority to that.
Yeah, no, you have no hesitant. You have to say yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
that's all. So otherwise, no hesitation. Manori is, I have to escape because she's too old now and trying her best. But I would like to have a young blood. But even though I am telling about the never too late.
So I think Samudra, now you have. So we can do that perhaps once a month we can have that session. So I don't think it's difficult to organize it because the material is available, as you said, Venerable Sir. So it's just a matter of us, getting ourselves organized. And as you rightly said, we have been going on for 100 years. And certainly, since our goal is enlightenment, we have to make use of this opportunity that we have and, improve on our practices. So I'd like to ask whether there are any other people with questions. Koalita, do you have any questions? What about you, Mr. Das Galla? Do you have anything? You'll have to unmute your button, please. Das Galla, you have to. Yeah.
Venerable Sir, I was following the guiding principles, major principles you mentioned, several. One was about appamada. I think you emphasized on appamada. Then also you emphasized on, of course, Venerable Jnanapunika's writings, and then agendas, avoid all agendas. Now that I believe you might be able to guide me whether this avoiding agendas can be the most important principle. Is that correct? Or appamada, what the Buddha said at the time of Parinibbana. So my question is, which principle can be the most valuable principle?
The wholesome principle. You don't know what is wholesome and what is not wholesome. You know by the worldly point of view. So you have to understand by trial and error, day by day, the going for the better, from the good. So that means wholesome principle, wholesome agenda. The Arya Ashtangika Magga, Arya Ashtangika Marga, Buddha says is an agenda. It's a program, but it's the least defiled program, according to his knowledge. So therefore you have to give up all the other inefficient programs, unwholesome thing, and mindfulness is a very good cursor. It is a precursor. It's a forerunner. And you are reshuffling your likings and disliking. Definitely mindfulness is, the Buddha says, it is a sabbakicca sadharana mahamachovya. It is like a minister without portfolio doing everything for the Prime Minister. It's a minister without a portfolio, but taking care about the whole, about the Prime Minister. But we have now personal agendas. It's a Mara agendas. And we are all too old now. Worn out and gone. And I still not too late. We can have the wholesome kind of agenda. And wholesome agenda is ending by itself. No end, no objective as such. It's ending by itself. So it's called have an appointment with a disappointment. That is the best appointment. You will never get disappointed.
So, Venerable Sir, does it mean that we avoid all personal agendas? That might be the...
So whatever the wholesome, you put into trial. Unwholesome, by your values, you get rid of. It may be personal, it may be Buddhist, it may be scouting, it may be Montessori, whatever it may be, take what is better than what your present agenda. We can do anything, anything we can do better. That is a kind of a capacity in the human mind, always we can do better. That's a wholesome agenda.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Polita, did you have anything?
Yeah,
Yes, go ahead.
Venerable Sir, thank you for that talk. Can I know the difference between mindfulness and mindfulness with wisdom? What exactly is mindfulness with wisdom?
Sati and Sampajanya. Sihi buddhiya. So sihi nuwana. So that is the way Sampajanya is presented. Usually mindfulness is the forerunner and wisdom is to follow. But only in Satipatthana, Sampajano Satima. The Sampajanya is first and then mindfulness coming. They are of course reciprocal for a senior person, but for the beginner, mindfulness is the forerunner and definitely it is bringing the wisdom. Once the wisdom happens, you can reinforce the mindfulness, you can accelerate the mindfulness, you can direct the mindfulness again and again towards the Bojjhanga, towards the Samma Sati. So they are working reciprocally. For the beginner, mindfulness is the forerunner, outcome, endowment is the wisdom.
Thank you, Venerable Sir. Yeah, I think, for us Buddhists who are sort of, conversant with what is wholesome and what is unwholesome, I think the mindfulness itself gives us the sort of signal. Now, if a bad thought comes into your mind, immediately you know this is a bad thought. So I think we are sort of like pre-programmed to identify what is unwholesome. Whereas there may be humans who don't have the same good fortune that we have had, where we have learned what is wholesome and what is unwholesome, that we are in a position to identify. And then as soon as we identify with mindfulness, I think we can then let go of that.
So you are defining the choiceless awareness. Mindfulness is being translated as choiceless awareness. Whatever come along your way, don't have a pre-decided ideas. Don't have a preconceived ideas, then you are in a rut. That is what happened the old age. But the mindfulness give a free menu card, not a la carte. You can select. Not the chef's selection. But it's little expensive, huh?
So, Venerable Sir, I have a question now. Being mindful, we have a unwholesome thought that arises, and then mindfulness indicates to us that this is an unwholesome thought, right, Venerable Sir? So
mindfulness is accept, because it is not your intention. They are coming along your way. And you know, whenever it comes, you apply the label unwholesome. Soon you develop hate. Soon you become blind. But the mindfulness is slow down the process. It says you labeled it as unwholesome. And you see that unwholesome decision is script in your mind. Someone put into your mind. So if you are born in a Muslim family, they don't think killing is as unwholesome. But they will say the alcohol is unwholesome, all the kind of thing. But if you are in a Buddhist vegetarian family, no, it is already unwholesome. So these all scripts put into our mind by whom? Our parents, our teachers. Have they verified themselves? If it is so, it is worthwhile. But no harm. Still we can say, okay, this is coming along my way. I feel it is unwholesome. Soon you can see the reaction. You can see you get tightened and tensed and all the kind of things, self-accusation, finding fault with others and tension. And expecting the world to be pedantic and no harmful things kind of thing. What a kind of a thing, boy, accidentally it happens, you are the person get tense. Now mindfulness slow down process, it is called thin slicing of time. How the thing happen, how you put the label, and then know how you become tight, how you become blindfolded, how you become blinkers. And that is, I think, what you call the philosophy. It is a choiceless awareness we call evenly suspended attention and suspended decision. So you are reborn. I call born again Buddhist. We'll have an NGO program for the born again Buddhists. Instead of servants of Buddha, we can say NGO projects, born again Buddhists.
So
I think one thing, from birth and from our past lives, we have been preconditioned to think in certain ways, do certain things. That is how we are going about in society. And sometimes in those points, our judgment may be wrong, may be right. So I think that preconditioning, we have to just give up.
You can't give up, darling. It is not so simple. What I am telling is,
I know.
I have to telling is, you have to understand, I have some scripts in my mind. I see through the scripts. So therefore I am blind. So understanding that itself is enough. So you have to tell me, Bhante, you are wrong. I have to tell you, hey guy, you are wrong. So we are friends. We are not tarnishing each other. So in the mindfulness, we are very straightforward. We are whacking the fellow, telling that it is wrong. Whether you are elderly or no problem, because I see from the different perspective, because we see now from the mirror of mindfulness. So what a kind of a miracle. You are helping me, I am helping you, and internally I am developing mindfulness so that we become mindful friends. We call Dhamma blood. We are blood relatives. Dhamma blood relatives. More than our family members, we can share. Because we know we have no malice to tarnish you, to have some the negative selfish idea, because of our mindfulness. And your mind also becoming internally the diagnostic. Directed dispositions, how you jump into the decision and how much proving it, how much you are going to justify it, utter fool. Other mindful people can laugh at it. Because they know that once you go on wrong, that you have such a process of proving it. In Sinhala we call, ලේසියටත් පහසුවටත් දැන වැරදි කරනවා. එහෙම වුණත් නිදහසටත් කියන්න කරුණු තියෙනවා නැත්තම් හදලා කියනවා. That is elder life. That is what you call adult psychology. We are in such a dream. We are in such a doped, not alcoholic, doped situation. When you become mindful, we get a new life. We get a revolutionary kind of thinking pattern, unbearable. So it has to be very slow. Otherwise you will get a crack. That is why the mentally imbalanced people easily go the bipolar, schizophrenia, hysteric level of trauma. This is mindfulness having side effects because they are doing and using for wrong cause. But mindfulness has no side effects. It's always revealing. So that is why when we are going on Sadhivasala, we are going to give the whole school 70% only Buddhist, 30% non-Buddhist, everyone accepting.
Right, Venerable Sir, now I think the time is up, and Venerable Sir, we are so grateful to you for this session you have conducted with us, and thank you very much for answering all our questions and also for the clarifications. So I'd like you, Venerable Sir, to wind up our session by offering merit to departed relatives and all sentient beings.
Can Manori do it, the offering, sharing merits with others?
Etarthata ammihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Etarthata ammihi sampadam punya sampadam Sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavata ammehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva sabbe satta sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya.
Akasattaya.
Akasattaya bhummatta deva naga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chiran rakkantu sambuddha sasanam. Akasattaya bhummatta deva naga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chiran rakkantu buddha desanam buddha savakam. Akasattaya bhummatta deva naga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chiran rakkantu mam paranti. Mayang katam punyang samina anumoditabbang.
Before that, we have to share merit with all the passed away. Imina punya kammena. Idang ho jnati nang hotu.
Jnati nang hotu sukita huntu jnateo. Idang ho jnati nang hotu sukita huntu jnateo. Idang ho jnati nang hotu sukita huntu jnateo.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay?
Mayang katam punyang samina anumoditabbang.
Sadhu, sadhu, anumodami.
Samina katam punyang mahihanda tabbang.
Sadhu, anumodi tabbang.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Imina punya kammena mami bala samagamu satang samagamu hotu yava nibbana patya. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
I am going to recite the blessings of the Sangha. Listen attentively. Abhivadana silissa niccang vaddapachayino chattaro dhamma vaddanti ayu anno sukang balang ayurarogya sampatti thagga sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminate samijjatu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu. So we are getting disconnected from this end. Thank you very much for all the organizers.